Welcome to the Mint Report, our wrap-up of the day's business news. Here are the top stories. Sebi eases rules for raising money on the markets. Coca Cola announces fresh Indian investments. And Pranab Mukherjee steps down as finance minister. First up, many Indian companies will now find it a little easier to raise money on the stock markets. On Tuesday, the regulator Sebi loosened some of the rules for selling shares. Companies will now be able to auction their shares more frequently on the markets. Also, investors buying these shares will not have to make upfront payments. Sebi's move comes at a time when Indian markets are battered, and those poor conditions have prompted many promoters to hold back their mandatory stake dilutions. And in a separate move, Sebi has announced a new initiative to improve financial reporting by companies. It will set up a review committee that will look at annual audit reports. And in other news, Coca Cola plans to uncork major new investments in its Indian beverages business. On Tuesday, global chairman and CEO Muhtar Kent announced the company would put in $5 billion by 2020. He said this meant an extra $3 billion over what Coca Cola had committed earlier. At present, Coca Cola India stands at the 7th position in Coke's global portfolio. And the Indian markets managed to make modest gains on Tuesday, despite lukewarm sentiment. The Sensex rose 24 points to 16,907 and the Nifty gained 6 to 5,121. A continuing rally in the shares of oil companies helped drag the indices into the green. Hindustan Petroleum led the pack with a 2.36% rise on the BSE to 336.65, and ONGC went up 1.5% to 277, while Bharat Petroleum made a more modest gain of 0.37% by the end of trade. Some other stocks also rose on Tuesday, though for more specific reasons. Reliance Industries finished trade 1% higher on signs that it was acquiring its own shares as part of an ongoing buyback. And BHEL climbed 0.8% after it bagged a contract for a hydroelectric project in Bhutan. And finally, Pranab Mukherjee is no longer India's finance minister. On Tuesday, the veteran politician stepped down from the post so he can become the UPA's candidate in July's presidential elections. Mukherjee's critics blame him for the economic slowdown and the decline in the rupee. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is expected to take over the finance ministry portfolio, though a number of other names, including Jairam Ramesh and C. Rangarajan, are also doing the rounds. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.